He didn't realize the call was still connected when he walked into the courthouse conference room. His voice came through my phone like a razor sliding under skin. Soft, deliberate, cruel. Just wait until her father's check clears. Then we'll take the baby and leave her with nothing. I didn't drop the phone, didn't scream. I just sat there, hands folded over the divorce papers he didn't know I was filing, and listened to the man I once trusted plot my erasure. And worse, plot it with her. My best friend, the one whose pregnancy announcement I'd celebrated with tears and cake, the one I thought I'd hold the hospital bag for. Funny how betrayal always sounds ordinary until you replay the words and realize they were cutting your life open. We met years ago in a bookstore, him pretending to like poetry, me pretending not to notice him. He had that earnest smile that made you believe he'd never hurt a soul. And back then, he didn't. Back then, he carried my grocery bags, remembered my deadlines, kissed my forehead like it was holy. I built a life with that man, a home, a future. I guess it's always the softest memories that hurt the most when they rot. The shift started small. A late night here, a forgotten anniversary there. He grew careful with his phone, too careful, turning it over, keeping it close. She grew distant, evasive, her eyes flickering whenever I mentioned him. One night she came over smelling like his cologne. That was the first crack. The second was the pregnancy. The third was realizing the dates didn't line up with her boyfriend's deployment. But I didn't confront either of them. No, confrontation is for people seeking truth. I already had truth. What I needed was proof. Or, more precisely, leverage. Planning didn't feel dramatic. It felt calm, like placing chess pieces exactly where they needed to go. I met with an attorney and told her everything. I transferred my inheritance into a trust he had no access to. I installed security cameras he never noticed. I recorded calls, printed statements, traced money transfers, documented every lie. Piece by piece, I mapped the trap. And when I was ready, really ready, I set the bait. I told him my father was sending a prenatal gift, a sizable one. I watched his eyes gleam like a thief studying escape routes. She texted me later that night, "Your dad is so sweet." Her words trembled, even the guilty shake. This morning, I sat in the courthouse waiting room while my attorney finalized the divorce filings. He thought I was at a routine appointment. She thought I was dropping off baby supplies. And then he forgot to hang up. I listened to them plot the future they thought they'd carved out of my spine. How they'd take the baby, how he'd drain my accounts, how she'd move in after the dust settled. I'd let them talk. And then I walked into the courtroom and handed my attorney the final file, the one with every recording, every photo, every time-stamped message, the one that turned my heartbreak into ammunition. They arrived an hour later, together. She clutched her belly. He clutched his lies. I didn't greet them. I didn't need to. My attorney slid the evidence packet across the table. He opened it with the confidence of a man who believes he's untouchable. The moment his eyes landed on the transcript of the call, the blood drained from his face. When he reached the financial records, the ones proving attempted fraud, his hands started to shake. And when he read the custody recommendation, awarding her full custody but banning him from any legal involvement because the child wasn't his, he finally looked at me. Not with anger, not with love, but with the dawning horror of a man realizing he's been outplayed by the woman he underestimated. She cried. He begged. I stayed silent. The judge signed the divorce decree with a single stroke. By the time they understood the full scope of the fallout, the financial penalties, the restraining orders, the public disgrace, it was already done. My revenge wasn't loud. It didn't have to be. The truth did the screaming for me. Now I sit in my car outside the courthouse, breathing for the first time in months. They thought they could break me, use me, erase me. But I don't disappear. I rebuild. And as I watch them through the windshield, two traitors trying to hold each other up, I feel nothing but a cold, clean peace. They planned to take everything. Instead, they lost everything. And I finally got myself back.